Like, how do we make sense of the world when it's like we're not really operating with a full deck, so to speak? You know, we only have our perception of reality, but it's not necessarily reality at all. But we're trying to navigate our way. And then we've got our unconscious fears and things we project. And, it's tricky. It's a tricky thing.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And that's a great point to bring up, Amy, because I always tell people, if you got to build a good foundation first in order to handle that kind of stuff. So again, our frame of reference, where we're coming from, it shapes our perception, right? So it's like looking in one of those funhouse mirrors, and it's like, or even just a mirror in general. All of them are kind of different. They're a little bit different. Like if you go to try something on, that mirror looks a little different than the one you have at home. Which one is correct? Which one is reality, right? I've thought about this because of body image stuff. I feel terrible sometimes when I look at myself in a mirror I've been in the past, like when I was really, I go back a little bit. When I was pregnant and then after kids and having to get my body, back into shape, I went through this awkward phase of like, oh my God, because I was an athlete, I was a gymnast for so long and very, very used to being in control of my body and being really fit. And then when I was, after pregnancy, that was just not the case anymore. And all of a sudden I had this distended belly and I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do with this? And it really bothered me for a long time. And, but the point I'm making here is that when I would go to, it still happens every once in a while, but that I remember, what I'm going to share is that, I'll go to these fitting rooms and the mirror would make me look like, I'm like, gosh, am I really that? Did I gain some weight? Do I really look like that? Like I don't really like what I'm seeing, And then I'd go to a different mirror later and I'd see something different. Oh, this is nice. Wow, I'm looking good today.
I'm buying this mirror.
Yeah, seriously. And then I started to occur to me, like, how much am I just responding to these different distortions of reality in the moment? Like, why is this bringing up such an emotional charge within me when it might not even be a true reflection of what I actually look like, But yet I'm getting emotionally attached to this, right? And so I'm like, that's so silly. Why don't I just take the one that I look really good in and let's go with that one and let's agree that that's my reality, So it's again like going back to the default thing. It's like, what's your default? What is the harm in looking at the glass half full, right? Like what would be so bad about that? But yet we're trained to look at all the glass half empty, like what's going to go wrong? When's the other shoe going to drop? Like I got to be ready for this. And so, yes, you can, and I'm not saying to deny reality, you can also, be in reality and see the potential in it, without having to look at the doom and gloom of it. That's just what we've been taught. And, for good reason. I mean, it's been passed down from generation to generation. It's a survival mode thing, understandably, so it's understandable why we would go back to that, especially when we're in some kind of a crisis. But it's not really serving you when you're looking at your body and you're thinking, oh my God, I look terrible, and you're saying all these terrible things to you. It's like those little things that are happening that are building up to your self-perception and then how you're extending that out into the world. So that's going to be skewed. But what I want to come back to is getting your healthy perspective comes from eating healthy, comes from exercising your body. It comes from getting mental stimulation as well. Using your imagination, which we don't talk about a whole lot either. It's very important, and also just playing, So we have to have all those components in place, especially now more than ever. I've heard so many people tell me they felt like a caged animal which is a very much a learned helplessness state to be in. So again, like getting to a place of play is also equally as important as learning how to eat better, incorporating that into your routine, so you can start to manage your blood sugar better, so you can start to build an inner sense of calm, and with the exercise, getting that body moving and circulated too, and so they all fit together to build this healthy foundation for you to have a healthy perspective. Because again, your perspective being off is an indication that your health is off, right?